Hello guys, and welcome back to MAPIT. This is Make It Play with Tracy. Last week was exciting. Newness, new month, new second half of the year, and so many things to really wrap your mind or my mind around. So I'm excited to be back. So if you missed last week's episode, do well to look me up on YouTube, go to my channel, and you will see just what's going on. So we're talking about little beginnings, and it's really an interesting topic. Last week we said start just where you are, and today for the rest of the week my message to you is why little beginnings matter. There's a reason why. There's nothing wrong with little beginnings, and so today we'll be talking about why it matters. How does that sound? Interesting, right? Yes, I'm also excited about little beginnings and why it matters. So so I'd like to remind us of a scripture that says, I think Zechariah 4:10, it says, despise not little beginnings. So Zechariah 4:10 says, despise not little beginnings. It's really very important, and it amazes me how the Bible seems to have one word, one clause, one phrase or the other about these key subjects of life. So I'm excited to hear, get that backing from the Bible that little beginnings are perfect. They need not be despised. They need not be, so it's just okay. So for someone out there paying attention to what I'm saying, I'm telling you today, do not despise little beginnings. And you get why. There's a reason. There's actually a reason why. So one of the things I like to share today is to say, when you start little, it gives you the opportunity to test the waters. Imagine these women who consistently fry bean cakes, right, along the road, in quotes, akara, you know what I mean? So they do it in their little way, with their little resources. More often than not, the story is that they don't have as much. If they had so much, probably they would have been somewhere, in Ikoyi or VI or somewhere in Tama, in a big shop, running a big restaurant, and all those kind of powerful big dreams. But one thing about them that you would easily pick, and I admire a lot, is the fact that in doing it in that little scale that they do, they become consistent over time. They become so consistent, even in the availability, showing up at the times they show up, those very early mornings, and doing all their stuff. So they become consistent over time. They would have made their mistakes over and over and over again. And those are the kind of people that sometimes when you have a very big event, you go pick them and they are just somewhere at the back of the event hall doing the small chops, the bean balls, the whatever. So because over time they've gained mastery, by starting little, being consistent, sustaining it, learning from their mistakes. They've learned the ropes, really. So that's one benefit of little beginning. So really do not despise your little beginning. Another thing about little beginnings I like to share is that it gives you an opportunity to start however. So you could be on your vision or your dream for so long, wishing, dreaming, and never have the opportunity to start. But when you have a little space, a little platform you create for yourself to kick off something, and sometimes people even try to be so safe such that when they start, if it fails, they just pack it up and move on like nothing really happened. That's a safe way to manage the risks that comes with failure and all of those things. So we're still saying it's important to start small. Is perfect. The Bible has got your back. Despise not, because tomorrow when you become all that structure, all that you really ever desire, and you realize that you will be able to share your experiences, encourage someone out there, and be a SME, like a subject matter expert in your area. I remember when I started baking, baking was like, baking and cooking has been like the other side of me. I do it for fun. I go to South Africa and I visit a friend, KB, and I'm in her kitchen, I'm cooking, I'm doing that. I'm in the UK with my cousins or my uncles. Before you know, I'm throwing that and that, I'm cooking. I find myself in, Every time I travel, I just have to take over people's kitchens and cook. And then on one occasion, when I think the youth wing of my church then was having a picnic or a carol or something, I just baked. Then it was Christmas, so it was chocolates kind of cake, and I brought it, and people were like, "Who baked this cake? Who baked?" They know me for my freebies. I mean, I used to do a lot of freebies. I just enjoyed it. But by the time 5 people ordered for that cake, they insisted to say, "Please, I don't know who baked this cake, but I'm really interested. Hook me up, hook me up." That was in 2016. Hook me up, hook me up. I really need this cake, and I don't mind paying for it. I smiled, I laughed. I said, "It's one of my." They said, "Really, you did this one? I really love. Please, can you make it for me?" And that's how my first order came. It was so funny how I had to even take money for it, but I looked at giving out those 5 cakes free of charge. It was going to cost me money, and then give. So little beginnings really, it gives you a platform to express. That's where I'm going, and the outcome of your expression could be just that big bang you're looking for. So yes, don't be scared, don't be discouraged, don't look down on you. And that's why I'm here today. There's usually this pressure and tension. Big bang is good, don't get me wrong. In fact, earlier on I wasn't really into little beginnings per se, because I have big dreams, big ideas. I still do, but I realized that when you take it easy, take it slow, it's easier to handle, get consistent, become repetitive until you become a lord in that segment. So welcome to the world of little beginnings, and this is our second episode. Look up the first episode on YouTube and subscribe. Let's hear your thoughts, share, and then see you next week for the next episode of Little Beginnings. So this is MAPIT. Let's map it together. Yes, you can do it. I believe you, and I trust you. Thank you. Don't go away. I love you.